Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I've got a story for you that's a little different. It starts with a bet, as all good stories do. My friends, Alex, Chloe and I were sitting around one rainy Saturday, scrolling through our phones, bored out of our minds. That's when Alex found it, an article about the old Blackwood Sanatorium, just an hour's drive from us. The place had been abandoned for 50 years, and the local legends were wild. They said the last superintendent, Dr. Alistair Finch, went mad and that his spirit still roamed the halls, looking for patients. The article even mentioned a specific challenge. Spend one night in the sanatorium and you will supposedly be rewarded with eternal luck. Of course, we didn't believe a word of it, but the thrill was too tempting to ignore. Chloe, ever the skeptic, scoffed. Eternal luck? Sounds more like eternal tetanus. But Alex was already fired up. I bet you $50 we can't last until sunrise, he declared. And just like that, the stupidest, most terrifying adventure of our lives was set in motion. We'd packed flashlights, a questionable amount of snacks, and my old camcorder to document our bravery, or more likely, our foolishness. We arrived at the sanatorium just as the sun was setting. The building was a Gothic nightmare, all crumbling brick and boarded-up windows, with a giant dead oak tree looming over the entrance like a skeletal guardian. The air was heavy and cold, and the silence was so complete it felt like a physical weight. We found a broken window at the back, and one by one we squeezed through, our hearts pounding in our chests. The inside was even worse. The air was thick with the smell of decay and dust. Moonlight streamed through grimy windows, illuminating peeling wallpaper and overturned gurneys. Every creak of the floorboards echoed through the cavernous hallways. We decided to stick together and explore the ground floor first. Alex, trying to act brave, started narrating our ghost hunt for the camera. "We are now entering the former cafeteria," he said in a dramatic voice, "where countless souls probably complained about the jello." Chloe elbowed him. "Not funny, Alex." But then something genuinely not funny happened. We heard a noise from down the hall, a faint, rhythmic squeaking. Squeak, 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 like a rusty wheel turning slowly. We froze, our eyes wide. Alex lowered the camera. "What was that?" he whispered. The sound stopped. We waited, barely breathing. After a full minute of absolute silence, Alex nervously laughed it off. Probably just the wind, but none of us believed him. We cautiously continued, our flashlights cutting through the oppressive darkness. We found the old patient records room. Files were scattered everywhere, their pages yellow and brittle. I picked one up. The patient's name was Eleanor Vance, admitted for hysteria. The last entry, written in a frantic, spidery hand, just said, "He doesn't let us sleep. The doctor is always watching." A chill ran down my spine. This was Dr. Finch's handwriting. Suddenly, the door to the records room slammed shut. We all jumped and screamed. Alex fumbled with the doorknob, but it wouldn't turn. "It's locked! We're locked in!" he yelled, panic rising in his voice. Chloe started banging on the door, her calls for help echoing uselessly. That's when the squeaking started again, but this time, it was right outside the door. Squeak, squeak. It was getting closer. We backed away from the door, huddling together in the far corner of the room. The squeaking stopped right in front of the door. Then we heard a low, gravelly whisper seep through the wood. "Time for your checkup." It was the voice of an old man, but it was filled with a chilling malice. We were utterly terrified. Alex, in a moment of pure, unadulterated panic, grabbed a heavy, leather-bound records book and hurled it at the door, screaming, "We don't have an appointment!" And then the most bizarre thing happened. The whispering stopped. We heard a surprised oof, followed by the sound of something heavy falling over, and then silence. A few seconds later, a different voice, a much younger and angrier one, yelled, "Oh, Kevin, you idiot! You were supposed to be scary, not get knocked out by a book." We were completely bewildered. Chloe slowly crept to the door and peered through the old-fashioned keyhole. After a moment, she burst out laughing. Not a nervous laugh, but a genuine, hysterical belly laugh. "You guys," she choked out between gasps. "You have to see this." Alex and I rushed to the keyhole. Outside, a kid in a cheap ghost costume was trying to wake up another kid who was lying flat on his back in a wheelchair, wearing a doctor's coat and a fake white wig. He had a big red mark on his forehead where the book had apparently hit him. These were our ghosts. A couple of teenagers trying to scare people for their own little YouTube channel. The ghost, who was still standing, saw us looking and just waved sheepishly. We managed to convince him to unlock the door. The doctor, Kevin, was still dazed. We helped him up and they explained their whole elaborate prank, complete with a remote-controlled door lock and a squeaky wheelchair they borrowed from their grandpa. We ended up spending the rest of the night with them, sharing our snacks and swapping stories. It turned out they were just as bored as we were. We even helped them film a new, much funnier intro for their channel, featuring a dramatic reenactment of Kevin getting taken out by a flying book. As the sun finally rose, casting a warm golden light through the dusty windows, we all walked out of the Blackwood Sanatorium together. We didn't find any ghosts or eternal luck, but we did make a couple of new weird friends. Alex even paid Chloe the $50, admitting it was the best $50 he'd ever spent. And as for me, I got one heck of a story to tell. It just goes to show you sometimes the scariest things in life are just, well, a little bit ridiculous. Thanks for listening to my story today. If you enjoyed this wild ride, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more adventures. Let me know in the comments about the craziest bet you've ever made. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.